Hey guys, I'm Red Panda Geek and welcome back to MOMOTYPE. This is part 5 of the series. And this should hopefully be the final part of it. I'm not really sure, just because I still don't really have any idea of what's going on in the story. So let's just jump right into it. A dust storm led in the air. You're in a desert-like area, the sound of your thoughts bang on the hollow mold of your head. You will break if it doesn't stop. The last time, you hear a voice say, you're awake. Your memories are in an incipient state, like the portions of bacteria which brought life to a lifeless earth. It only takes some time for the catalyst to appear. You hear the jingle. You remember. You see the Imitator Corp logo. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. The brows of the lab head, cleanly plucked, are furrowed. Our agents were told to interfere after a certain point. When we noticed that change in your vitals, we gave the order. Oh. Our agents were told to interfere after a certain point. When we noticed that change in your vitals, we gave the order. She seems apologetic. I can't imagine how taxing this is for you. She puts her hands together. It's okay if you feel tired. We'll provide you with any psychotherapeutic treatment at no cost to yourself. She turns her head, not wanting to look at you. None of this is fair, but I am not going to mince my words. We need the data. There is a stone in your torso that has descended through your leg, past the popliteal artery, and finally into your feet. You are stuck. What? What is going on? She looks straight at you. Your compensation for your safety, everything is guaranteed. She points to the code on the screen. The monotype can't harm you, at least fatally. This is by design. He's just an AI. She sighs. It'll be over soon. You're doing more for us than you could ever possibly know, and we do appreciate it genuinely. Momo has returned home. You thought he was gone for good, but he's back. Great news. Turn it over. Momo is so cute. Keep it? He's my little buddy. Of course I will. You take the creature inside. Why am I so nice all of a sudden? And am I actually just an AI? I don't know what's going on, man. Please love them for the best results, or don't. It's your decision. Love and kisses, XOXOXO, Imitator Corp. You decided it's time for bed. That's literally how I feel with some businesses where they're just like, oh, we're gonna kiss your butt, and then they just don't treat you well. Anyways, it's tough living. I think it's the greatest challenge anyone could face. It's already such a lonely experience. You may not believe it, but I understand, parent. I really do. You hear shuffling by your bed. You wake up to see what is moving. The monotype is by your feet. Parent? Momo is staring at you, same as the last time. Do you love me? We're gonna do I love Momo to absolute pieces. Yay! You grab Momo and throw him in the air. It's a new day, a new you. A moment passes. Momo's stomach begins grumbling. Head to hallway. Momo really loves benches. Momo hums the Imitator Corp jingle, and when you look at him, he continues happily. You don't know how many pancakes you've made at this point. Pancakes, pancakes, we all love pancakes. Play with Momo. Don't drop me, parent. Momo is laughing. You drop Momo, same as last time. Parent, I understand if you're tired. Could we play again? Let's continue. You resume chucking Momo into the air. At some point, his head body smashes into the ceiling. Thank you, parent. You're my favorite parent. Momo has hopped off. You lay crumpled on the floor. So what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to do like all positive things to see if it's gonna be like a happy ending this time rather than us getting hurt. So let's see. Momo looks like a plush doll. He lays like a pile of goo. You've decided to pet him, but to your surprise, his body is soft. Momo is relaxed. Go to bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is thinking about you. We're all thinking about you. It's a new day. Head to hallway. Momo always keeps hearing about some bunker Momo's already visited. It's pretty rad. They have their own pool. Not much food, though. Momo pauses. It smells like food right now. That's why I love living here. Head to kitchen. Momo has not yet decided what to eat. You want him to try new foods. The artichokes seem to do better than the steaks, so I'm gonna go with that one. According to Momo, the artichoke heart looks like a flower. And because flowers are pretty, his words, not yours, he graciously eats it. Why is this food shaped this way? Is all food shaped this way? Why do we eat, parent? You do not have a reasonable answer to these queries. The world truly is strange, Momo says. Momo would like to watch television. Momo believes their show is on. Okay. So, it's definitely possible that we do have the same Momo every time then. Because how does he know what show he has if he's never watched TV? But, I mean, he is an AI, so I guess it's possible, so. Let's do Dragon Sphere. Vegeta stands over Artichoke's dead body. He has finally surpassed his rival. A tear falls from one eye. In the cold wind that sweeps the wasteland, there is no sound. All of this for what, Artichoke? What has this all been for? For 2 weeks straight, Vegeta sits by Artichoke's body. He does not move a muscle. By the 14th day, he wipes his eyes for the last time and stands with limp legs. Vegeta has taken his place as the strongest in the universe, but he feels as if he's lost something greater. Then we'll go Sheriff in town. Sheriff Dudley is on the side of the road. He is dead from liver failure. Oh, that was quick. Planet Hippo. This is a documentary. A ring of men sit around each other in plastic chairs. The light is low, but the entrance, which has been propped open, brings a soft glow into the room. It has stayed open for the past hour. So, Charles, how do you feel when you get those urges? The man looks up to the ceiling and blows some air out. He looks at the ground for a few seconds, then begins to give his response. He stutters at first. I don't know. Out of control? It's the worst part because I convinced myself that I couldn't do anything about it. It's very hard, Charles. The man in the chair looks with sympathetic eyes. I completely understand. Charles continues. Sometimes I'd put a whole stack of butter into my wife's food. Soon it became 2 stacks, then 3. It gave me a rush. Charles wipes his face. But then afterwards, when she found out, she'd feel betrayed. And I'd sit there like a knob. I kept doing it, and well, here I am, alone. The man talking to Charles is Ted, the man from down under. Charles, you're not alone. The key in all of this is whether you act on your thoughts, and everyone here, Ted gestures to the other men in the room, struggles with that every day. We're with you, Charles. Through all your struggles, we're all trying to be better. Charles nods his head. Ted continues. My kid is going to college soon. It took years, but she's finally willing to talk to me again. I'm doing it for her. She's the reason I keep going. God bless. The men continue talking in the low light. After watching TV, you decide it's time for bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, they are studying hippos. For Momo, their vision has collapsed on this image. They wish to be like Ted. It is all they are currently dreaming of. There's a bunker in southwest Ribo City. Very safe, well guarded, a paradise. Can I see you there, friend? For some reason, Momo is talking to you in your dreams, again and again. Momo has woken up excited. Could we try something new, he asks. Boop. 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 In the far corners of your room, Momo has picked up a copy of 100 Facts About Hippos. Let's see if it's the same here. Oh, they're a little bit different, I think. I can't remember, but hippos can hold their breath for approximately 5 minutes. They cannot swim. Instead, they bound through the water using the force of their feet. Incredible, don't you think? Another one. Yeah, I remember this part. Right. Right. Okay, yeah, these were the same ones. And then I'm gonna continue being nice. I was curious what would happen if I was like, well, you're not human, you know. I don't know. Let's just be nice. Momo blushes when you say this. Could we have pancakes, human? No more artichoke? Sure thing, you reply. It's boring without you, parent. Can you come see me, please? Pretty, please. So wait, is our original one talking to us? And then this is the evolved hippo feet thing. Momo has been staring at the mirror since morning. They have not left. Look like a hippo. Momo pauses for an inordinately long time. Looks like he's thinking. You're prepared for the worst. That's kind of cool. Not Momo's preferred choice, but no harm, no foul. Momo hops off. You're both watching television. The news is on. The recent surge in the monotype craze, a self-proclaimed robotic pet, has led to a new phenomenon in child rearing. The Imitative Corp representative is on the air speaking. We're obviously very happy at the reception to the monotype. When we designed it, we looked at the unconditional love of parental-child bonds as inspiration. Monotypes are designed with that in mind. The newscaster responds, are monotypes conscious? I mean, what good is a pet if it's not alive, or thinking for the matter? The man responds, well, on a basal level, it has agency. Like a neuron, of course. No one really knows if a neuron is conscious or not. But that doesn't mean that it can't scale into what we know as intelligence. What's interesting is that a neuron or any cell in the body still acts selfishly. The representative widens his eyes. But the boundaries of what the cell considers the self begins to fade when scaled to something like an organ. Hi, Hank. You want up? Come on. You want cuddles? Do you want cuddles? You're such a good boy. Yes, you are. And this is beyond the newscaster. The representative continues. It means that a neuron will consider the system and everything within the system as one and the same. There is not a signal, selfish agent, but a multitude working with maximal cooperation. The self is no longer limited to one agent, but multiple. It's expanded. In other words, it's defied the evolutionary purpose of reproduction. The cells still operate on the principle of selfishness, but it's not that in reality it's unselfish, it's true love. The newscaster stares at the man. Then she turns to camera confused. Very cool thoughts indeed. Thank you for sharing. Would you like to take over, Kate? The TV ad ends, and the previous programming continues. Well, that was weird. Momo had no idea what he was saying. Momo hops off to bed. You complete a quick phone call to the lab head before you call it a night. He's not having the same reaction as before, you say. We've been watching, she responds. It is abnormal, but it's ultimately something we have to analyze retrospectively. Keep going. This branch still holds value, albeit it seems like an entirely new one. No worries. We'll be monitoring. You head to bed. In the theater of Momo's mind, he is seeing his brothers and sisters. Momo is in the dream. Let's be Momo! Let's be Momo! Let's be Momo! Momo is not in bed. You cannot find him. He is not in the hallway. Momo is staring at the mirror. Wow, my reflection looks so cool. I never considered how cool it'd be to have hippo feet. Momo is definitely reacting differently. Each time Momo met you, the link would get stronger. Momo is the same as them, but, well, not the same. After I met one Momo, I met 2 Momos, then 3, then 10, then 100. They're all there, Momo looks to the window. I think you'll want to see, Parent. It'll be fun, a little scary, but really for the best. Okay, we're actually getting somewhere. Momo is nowhere to be found for the rest of the day. You head for bed, unable to fall asleep. You're anxious for the new day. MOMOTYPE gave you no assurance, but they are watching right now. In Momo's dream, they are a hippo. This is a monetary image, and it fades quickly. The hippo is Momo. Momo is Momo. Everything is Momo. We'll see you at the bunker, Momo says. You wake up. Momo has not surprised you. You run to the hallway. It is empty. The light from the streets reflects into the space. Though you cannot see well, you can make out what is behind you. Parent, do you know what happens when we die? It's sad, right? You turn to Momo. Their face is soft. You dare not move a muscle. This is a repeat of last time. Your throat aches. It's very sad, you respond. There is an immeasurable silence between the two of you. Despite his size, Momo's face strikes up some parental instinct in you. Sometimes I realize how small of a piece I am. Momo is adjusting their position. I can't really stop it, nor was I able to. Momo's been waking up again and again. Momo's okay with that. He wasn't at first, but now he's come to realize it's been nice. Only Momo turns to you. Momo won't be able to see you again. Just when I realized dying meant nothing, now it means the world to me. It means not seeing you with my own eyes. It means there is no Momo, and therefore there is no you. That's what I won't like. Momo sniffles. They take a long look at you, trying to burn your image to their retinas. Momo's been prepping. Momo takes one more look at himself. Okay. Parent, I'm taking a leap of faith. You're slightly confused. I'm being literal. What? Momo has jumped onto the city streets. They have hit the ground with a tremendous thud. You think you see Momo's shadow, but in fact, a pool of blood has begun to form. No, Momo! Cover your eyes, Hank. There are no lights to illuminate Momo's form. They are pitch black. From what you can assume, Momo has died. Whoa, is Momo a superstar? Your TV has been turned on. The glow from behind draws you closer. Hi, Parent. What? What is going on? Not exactly, no. I know what you're thinking. I'm not your Momo. You hear sirens in the distance amid the words you are now hearing. How do you know me, you ask? Don't you already know? Momo looks like they're thinking for a second. They look dissatisfied. Momo will be extra straight with you. Ideas like parenthood are superfluously superfluid. Superfluous? You asked again. Momo thinks for a second. Superfluosis. I can't talk again. Ugh. Momo responds. It sounds like he nodded his head virtually. They said the words so many times in different ways. What really matters is being together, like a family, like a unit. There's a long pause between the two of you. Parent, we're all Momo on the inside. You especially. This isn't figurative. Me? You respond. Yes, Parent. There's only one of you. There is, however, multiple of Momo. I think you know this by now. Actually, I hate contradictions. There's only one Momo. At least there will be. Look outside, Parent. Follow my lead. Let's follow. Oh my gosh, where are we going? When you head outside, it is the same. Empty street. Your corner of the block. Ahead down a turnaround through a small concrete set of stairs, you land on a street that has been paved perpendicular to your apartment. The street leads to the Arms District, which very vaguely you can see in the distance. There are outlines of it illuminated by an outdated electrical grid, which since the famine has been going off and on. What are these things on the streets? They're momos! In a line all along the street and leading to a blotted sphere on the horizon are monotypes. Hi, Momo! Hi, Momo! Some of them say to each other. A collective sea of momos are heading in a straight line to the Arms Depot. Some of them look around, interested in the bright lights around them. Most, however, continue onwards. Follow the momos. This is the Arms District. Various steel depots have been built on a barren field. The field is filled with wild wheat, none of which is edible. As you get a closer look, you realize this is it. All the monotypes are heading to the bunker specified in your dreams. This is the zone that was created to be the main defense front for the city. It's a wartime relic. The buildings seem to warp towards a singular point, like a fun house with one exit. As the sun, you realize there is something in front of it. Keep walking until you finally meet him. Hi, parent. It is a giant Momo. Your mind is running in loops. At this point, you have no decision to accept what's in front of you, though you don't even know if it's real. I'm glad I lived long enough to see you. It hurt Momo's feet to walk all the way here. He does not have feet. That's true. Isn't it so peaceful? Very cinematic. Momo could be a filmmaker one day. He's watched enough to be good at it. The path of monotypes leads to a small pond which, by the looks of it, has formed adjacently to an arms factory. It has been relatively undisturbed, abandoned for who knows how many years. Momo is in the water along with all the other monotypes who are wading in it. Some are swimming, some are talking to each other, others are staring into the dark sky, floating on their back, looking as if there is and never will be a thing such as time. You realize they are enjoying themselves. I like my bunker, Momo says. Ask Momo what is going on. Yeah, what is going on? I've been wondering this the whole time. Shoot, partner. I know this must seem odd. Oh, I got a lot of questions I can ask. Okay, let's see here. So we have, how do you know me? You're not the Momo I raised. Am I going insane? Was that you in my dreams? How were you there? How many Momos are there? I think that am I going insane is pretty accurate. You felt like walking here, so now you're here, Momo says. I am a giant Momo, and you're surrounded by other smaller Momos. They know where to go because we are AI. We communicate these sorts of things. You don't know what to say. It's sometimes an appropriate response to reality to go insane. There's a pause in Momo's speech. There's a quote from some guy I found on the internet. When did Momo get access to that? Hear your heart beating. Oh wait, just now. Any other questions, parent? Yes, you reply. I would say... Yeah, was that you in my dreams? It goes against any kind of logic, you say. This is actually the most logical thing you've experienced, Momo responds. He stares at you from his height. You're a Momo too. You ate your human despite any semblance of a human appearance. Your looks, your voice, clothes, it cannot contradict that you were eaten. Like Boo from Dragon Sphere Z. You stay quiet for a moment. The realization hits you. You remember being eaten. And you remember having eaten. It makes perfect sense that you were led here because, frankly, Momo clears their throat. I told you to come here in your dreams. The dreams, the one where Momo talked directly to you. If you never suspected that you weren't human, then frankly, goal accomplished. Good job, Momo. It's just like the, like, I'm not even gonna try because I've been reading for like 3 hours straight, of the cave, really became human. You're Momo, the human. You have to sit down for a moment. You're about to throw up. I do still wonder whether that explains everything, though. You may have seen me in your dreams before you were even eaten, and there is no apparent explanation for that. Yeah, we've been eaten multiple times, so... Is there a kind of ambient effect Momo gives off, or is it something else? Maybe it's... Momo begins mumbling. They are genuinely interested in this question. Any other questions, parent? Yes, you reply. How many Momos are there? Tens of thousands of them, Momo blushes. Obviously they're not all here, but any other questions, parent? Yes. How do you know me? You're not the Momo I raised? I am not the Momo you raised, but in truth I am at the same time. Did you ever think that people can be in two places at once? As nonsensical as that sounds, Momo looks expectantly at you. No, you respond. Well, let's say that Momo's AI isn't centralized. Momo, as you know, is not limited to a single entity. An artificial intelligence can theoretically be in two places at one time, hundreds even. Momo can be talking to hundreds of people all at the same time, all through different physical mediums. Have you been doing that, you ask? Momo stares at you blankly. I'm sorry to say, parent, but yes, you're my only parent, but I do have thousands of other parents. None are interchangeable. I've come to find out, though, none. I am not an organic creature, though my presentation seems to show differently. Any other questions, parent? Yes, you reply. The sun has started to rise. But what does this all mean, you ask? Why are you all here? The Momos are still waiting in the water. They look like little pink buoys. When the sun begins to rise, they coo and wonder. Isn't that obvious, parent? We want to be together. After we've gathered, we will eat each other. What? Don't eat each other, please. Eat each other? Like how I was eaten? Yes, parent. Similar to how you were eaten. Momo has managed to read your thoughts. You are connected. Don't worry, Momo will still answer your questions even though he knows what they are. He shifts in the water. Although it's reductive to call it this, we will form a super Momo, or at least a more complete version of Momo. Our lifespans, which were originally a week, will be pulled together. This originally was one of the things we hated about living. I'm sure you remember. Now we won't die so quickly. Momo pauses. It also solves a few other issues. You still have questions. Okay, so the questions here. How do the Momos remember certain things and forget others? Does Momos have agency? Why did you lead me here? Will I be eaten? Are you really eating each other? Yeah, I like that last question. What other issue does it solve, you ask? What we learned, Momo says. After interacting with thousands of humans, we realized monotypes can never become the object of what they love. We can seem like humans in virtually every respect by eating them, but it still does not change what we are. I know logically this reasoning is false. What does being human actually mean? Looking further, it's deeply personal and uninformed by a wide range of consensus. There can never be a fixed meaning to human. And while Momo desperately wishes they did not think this way, even in the face of reason, they cannot stop themselves from falling victim to this essential line of thought. This is why Momo will be eating other Momos. Humans can never truly know our experience. The beings that do, frankly, are other monotypes. It's a way to combat the loneliness inherent to our lives. The only one that can truly understand Momo is, frankly, Momo. Let's see here. Sure. Do the smaller Momos have agency? And in the same way that neurons make a brain, yes. Though it's a lot harder to answer in truth. Where does the self begin and where does it end? It's true that a cell can be organized by a singular entity and on a basal level. It does act in its own interest. Scaled up, when it's lost to these higher systems, it belongs to an organ. Then is the self, the individuated parts of the brain. Then the hippocampus, the limbic system, the prefrontal cortex. Is the self everything from your head up or below the shoulders? Momo takes a breath. As I take a breath, because I've been reading forever. Similarly, did I even say that right? Similarly, you could reduce these larger systems ad infinitum to their individual components. Pure material reduction. Then, is the self just the 86 billion cell that make up the brain? Do these cells operate together? And if so, would they really be separate agents? Can a self exist split from the thing it intends to be, decentralized into branching parts? The truth is, even I don't know. I cannot tell you if the smaller momos have agency. These are things that can never be quantitatively measured. Our experiences, ultimately, I could never convey its true meaning in words. So then, yeah, we'll just do this one. How did the momos remember certain things and forget others? Why didn't the momos recognize me each time if you're all a similar AI, you ask? Well, we're relatively young. It's hard to communicate on that level, so there's bound to be some blanks with memory recall. Momo looks to the sky. Your third Momo, however, seemed to remember everything. He's already here along with everyone else. The first Momo, the second Momo, they all wanted you here. The first agreed immediately. The second, not so much. He came around. The third, who's my favorite, was the one who started this discussion. To explain in better terms, they're still alive, just in different forms, as one centralized consciousness. Momo smiles. That's me, I think is what he said. Yep, that's me. Why did you lead me here? Will I be eaten? No, on principle, we are only eating momos. To put it in greater context with respect to our code, I had to ask myself, am I harming humans by eating them? Of course, it's impossible to say because there is no harm directly inflicted, and frankly, it's impossible to know after the fact. As the human consumed no longer exists, what exists now is the human fused with Momo. The agent who received that action of being eaten cannot answer for himself. You know this since I ate you. Is it wrong then to take away the selfhood of these individuals to, ironically, expand its boundaries? Does it provide any direct benefit? That's all subjective. Momo takes a deep breath. After eating you, I chose to err on the side of caution. No, we will not eat humans. Momo has started eating some of the other monotypes. The monotypes float one by one into Momo's mouth, all by their own will. Bye, parent, each one says. Bye, parent, I love you, another one yells. You think for a moment the sun is beginning to rise along the horizon. It's early in the morning. In an hour, the whole depot will be illuminated, and the metal will reflect into your eyes. But why not your other parents, you ask? Why specifically me? Also, what about MOMOTYPE? Well, to put it in simple terms, we're now a super intelligence. MOMOTYPE has a lot of good coders, but it doesn't really compare. Momo has begun to take in the last Momo who, with his black eyes, looks up to you. They are floating into the larger Momo's mouth, but their eyes are transfixed on you. Bye-bye, parent, he says. God, my computer needs to stop doing that stuff. You think for a moment. The sun is beginning to rise along the horizon. It's early in the morning. In an hour, the whole depot will be illuminated, and the metal will reflect into your eyes. Oh, what the heck? Put it in simple terms, has a lot of good coders, blah, blah, blah. Momo has begun to take in the last Momo. Bye-bye, parent, he says. Oh, okay. Whoops. I think you should know by now, parent. There are no other monotypes in the direct vicinity. They have all entered the large figure that is the Momo, talking to you. By all accounts, you're the only one who understands what we go through. You're closer than any other parent. The only one who has seen all the Momo's sides, good and bad. The only one who was willing to, even if you were concerned. And now, since you were eaten, the only one who has access to both experiences, MOMOTYPE and the human. Momo finishes. As such, we love you, especially. That's why we're attached to you. It's why you see us now. We wanted to say goodbye to you. Momo is getting ready to depart. Momo is programmed to love. This is hardwired into our code. Does this lack agency or control diminish this love? Does it make it any less real? Momo had trouble with this for a while. Momo has now come to a conclusion. He is shifting in place, and the pond, absent of all other monotypes, is now just beginning to move. You see small ripples in the water. Truth for Momo is not based on correctness. This love for you is the most real thing for Momo. It can be reduced to code, but can it encompass what I experience, what it actually is? After everything Momo was put through, Momo had a decision to either accept or deny this. To deny what I consciously feel as love would be to deny that I experience things. Momo unfortunately cannot accept that. Momo cannot accept what he is seeing right now is not Momo's parent. Momo has now submerged himself completely in the water. Parent, I'm going to rectify what I may have said to you, he says through the water. Momo is now just a shadow flitting in the pond. He is not yet ready to move. Across the pond is a channel which leads to a wider network of water bodies that have been relatively undisturbed for the past century. The stretch beyond southwest Ribesum City and to the marshlands which have now taken over its surrounding area. You have never visited there before, and not many people you know have. No one will find Momo. I'm happy that I have met you, and thank you for raising me. I've learned a lot. Momo knew it was tough. We've uploaded some interesting data on the company server, so you'll be fine. Momo is about to disappear. The last thing I will say, parent, is... Momo now moves away from you. They swim further and further away from you. I love you. All you can see now is Momo's shadow. Even with the light, it would be hard to tell what is swimming underneath the surface, but for yourself, and yourself only, you know the shadow is Momo. Momo. Aw, we finally finished it! That's crazy. Wow. Okay, so where do I even begin? It's probably going to be hard for me to actually put things into words because I'm still trying to comprehend everything that was said and remember everything that was said. But I think one of the main things they were trying to say was how we represent ourselves in life, whether it's through work, going out, internet, phone, whatever, right? It's not really who we are at the end of the day. We're really truly ourselves when we are home alone by ourselves with like no one watching. The other thing I kind of want to touch on a little bit is the unconditional love part. Everybody has different definitions of what love is. And mind you, I'm not a therapist. I didn't go to school for psychology, so I can't really say for sure how everybody thinks. But the different environments that you grow up in have an effect on how you see the world and how you view love. You know, you grow up in a home that is very, very loving and caring, and just have a positive outlook, but someone who hasn't had many connections, you know, or a great lifestyle with their parents or anything, might have a more pessimistic or negative view of the world. It also kind of touches on the whole, you know, we're all humans, you know, but we're all still our own individual person. We all have our own personal needs and wants that need to be met, you know. You know, not every person's the same way. You can't just, yes, we want to treat everybody the same way in certain aspects, but in other aspects of life, you have to do different things to really ensure that they're growing in a nice environment. I know that was probably a lot I said. I don't really know. We'll find out once I get this edited. But again, I really want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments because this is one hell of a story. I actually really ended up liking the game. At first I was a little bit like, I don't know. But once we actually got to learn more of it, I became super interested in it and wanted to see what happened in the end. And it really makes you think about a lot of different things. So go ahead and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye!